Welcome back to the USRR. I am Premier Rever, and I am looking down on my people, making sure they're all working. A few months have passed. Let's turn back on the HUD here so we can take a look. A few months have passed since we have last spoken. It's almost, it is November 5th. Let me start time back up. I stopped that. We are very close to completing our technical university, so I switched over. I did want to note for those of you who are following closely that we got our heat system up by about September 18th. So you could see where, was it good to do the technical university first? I don't know. Probably could have just got that done, but there was no real need to get this done. And now I'm happy that, by November of the first year, we'll have our university completed. We'll have really everything that we need to keep people reasonably happy, I think. In addition, I've been managing to get these roads paved. I even got this road paved down to there. So that way that when we do set up our technical services here, which we're about to do, we'll be able to try to steer them more towards these gravel roads. Now that farm road will count too, but we really kind of want these guys to stay on these gravel roads as best we can. I'm not sure that they do. They just do whatever they want. That's a different issue for a different conversation, right? So I'm thinking that we should probably maybe get 3 of these. It's not like we're not going to need them. They're a little bit expensive for us, but they're going to make a big difference. We could always pull one out of here if it's too much, and in these first couple years, we'll maybe have a little bit of extra, but that's still quite a few roads that they need to get done and paved. The other thing I wanted to do was add another one of these microbuses. Now that we're getting into winter, and if you take a look here, let's take a look. We have 2 messages. Stop production at the heating. Stop production at the heating. So I think part of that was probably due to the fact that I was paving this road, right? It's kind of cutting off their fastest route. But at the same time, I don't want to take the chance of losing heat and losing people at this point. So let's close this. Open this. And we're going to purchase another one of these little orange cars. Move that a little bit. Well, all right, so we'll start that guy out. They should space themselves out, I would hope, and hopefully that'll do as well as we need to. You can stop production a little bit, and it doesn't really hurt them, but it's already down to 4C. This place that we live is mighty, mighty cold. I'll say that much. I do want to thank Teapot for a comment. He said our wood cutting post, there you go, wood cutting post did not attach to the electric. He was absolutely right. So I sat down here with this. We have this substation right here. This is actually in a very slightly, well, I don't know, maybe it's in the same exact spot because I did end up moving this down the hill a little bit. You can't really tell anymore because the trees grew up, but I just moved it down. It was literally within a meter or two, but I couldn't get this and that to both hook up to this this substation, right? It was just, if you moved it a little bit further this way, this granary would disconnect, and then if you moved it a little the other way, just these other things would be connected, the bus stop and the road cargo station, the little ones that we have attached here to our wood cutting post. So you guys can see we have a little mod. It's one of the few modded things. I fear this modded thing's not going to affect our happiness. As you can tell, we're pretty much almost past that point where I was going to say, can you survive with 150 people? Let's take a look at some of our stats. There's not too much going on. I can't do a whole lot until we get, like, the next thing I really want to do besides the projects we've already designed is to get over here and get the coal and stone probably going and start building some of those. But with 284 people, we're just really not there yet. I could design all that stuff and we would have fun, but it just would sit there for 3 years not built, and I do want to try to get some profitability going, and hopefully we can at least get some things going with this farm first, right? So this is probably going to be the better part of a year getting this all set up properly And not even so much because we couldn't build more, but just because of people, right? So let's take a look at that. Population statistics, we'll do all. Feel like we're doing pretty darn well. Let's come up to here. So you can see we have 85 children and like little babies, you could call them, and only 60 or 50 some children, 51. You can see we have 49 people, so we're holding even. We got one less adult than we started out with. But we have this massive influx of babies that we're going to have, which is the baby boom you get. It's just the nature of the game. I'm not sure that there's even any way to really prevent it. I guess you could, yeah, I mean, even, there's really almost no way to prevent it. I guess if you just had two houses, you could prevent them from having any kids, but that's the last thing we want, right? As a matter of fact, one of the things we're going to work on next, besides these roads, is, and I'm kind of past with the roads where I want it, is to build another one of these houses. As a matter of fact, I'll probably, if you look, this is what I've been trying to avoid, where we're just not even building anything. Let's keep the building going, right? So one thing I definitely want to get done sort of ASAP. Let's get this house done and its little footpath. So that way, as we do have that baby boom, there's just no question that we'll have enough people, even for the boom. And we'll work on all three of these. I did get a comment about, do I know that all of these buildings don't need road connections? Yes. I guess I just started out not knowing that when the game first came out. And I'm sure, I imagine that was true even in the very beginning, that they didn't need road connections. And I think buildings should have road connections because 99.9% of the buildings do. I understand this is a game. And so it's not a religious thing. It's not a, dire thing that I wouldn't do, but generally speaking, no, if it can be connected to the roads, I'd just as soon connect them to the roads versus the footpaths only. I think I don't know. I like this layout. That's one of the reasons I mention this right now, because I will come along and pave these later on. Right? The only thing I don't like about this, and this could be like one of those areas that we would do something like just footpaths. Where are we at with? Yeah, see, we can come up to here and attach to there. They can actually, I don't know if can they go through buildings? All right, if we did like this and that. Yeah, I'm not real sure. Then we could get rid of, let's do, yeah, right there. Why don't you do that? And then we can get rid of, oh, you know what, let's pause it. Well, this is the way they're getting into that building right now. So we need to get them another way in before I go deleting all that, right? There we go. Alright, so let's commit to all of those. I don't want to get too many of these little incidental things, but we're really kind of just killing time as our population grows, to be quite honest with you. Which is fun. I enjoy it. I really do. Like people have ant farms. And I don't know if we really need that, but I know that they can go from one thing to the next. So if for some reason they were going from this school, they could head over to here. But I want to see if we can't get, a footpath, even if it looks all kind of strange. I want this to be hooked up. I'm pretty sure these power stations, oh, let's do time again. I'm pretty sure these power stations can catch fire, and and I know we don't have a footpath to this, so I know the fire trucks can go through the footpath too. So, but maybe we'll delete that, because I would really like to get this footpath hooked up to here, and I just can't do it with the way this road is. So we'll see. We'll try to work on that next. All right, like I said, I don't want too many of those little projects going, because I'd rather work on this road so we can get out there, because I do want to get this designed. It's just I can't really do too much until we got that construction office out there as well. So, and again, even if I did, we don't really have the people. So we're working on the flats. The other thing that I didn't do, so we fixed this. We got this electrical hooked up, which I kind of had forgotten to run the wires out here. I just ran them from there. And then the next thing to do, now that we have this road done, is to get this farm going. Figured I'd wait till we were all together. Alright, we'll do something like that. What is this? This is the substation. Farm. What are you? Oh, you're the road distribution. I don't know if we're going to do the distribution too soon. So I guess you could say that the farms are one of the places that I build just the dirt roads, because I feel like it's a farm field, right? This is just the entrance to the farm field as opposed to being an actual road, where here I would build this, and then again, this isn't to the substation, that's a dirt road. My own proclivity, I guess you could call it. Alright, so the other thing we could talk about doing is getting this section done, and do we just want to do the whole thing as one big road project? I'm asking that as a question, however, I already know my answer. Alright, let's just redo. We can still get in there, and we do have a footpath over here, so I'm not too worried about. Let's see if we can make that kind of straight looking. Not even close to straight looking, but it'll work. It's a farm road. Maybe we could do this. Oops. I missed the button. Alright, so now that's all one job. And then we can, once we get that part done, we could do this other part. But good, yeah, so we definitely get in here and start getting this going. That would be more important than these little footpaths anyway. But we'll get those assigned as well, I guess. Alright, and then we really don't need that. We just need this, and then can't work on any of that until those things are done. Distribution office. Yeah, why not? Does that guy... Yeah, see, this guy's going to need workers no matter what. That's okay. Oh, but look. Da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. We have a university. So I'm going to take these guys off of the kindergarten. Then I'm going to assign the university. And then I'm going to take and cut down on the hospital, because we really don't need that many doctors. And we'll just have to see. We'll have to keep an eye on it, but we got a university, and now we have a professor in there, so we're actually teaching students. We don't need that many. Let's see what we got down to, so you get an idea of 32. So you could see, you know, normally when I've bought people in this beginning thing, because this is, I like starting games and that challenge and that first feel of the new map and all that stuff. I think I've mentioned that to you guys before in past series. So I tend to start this game over and over again with a new map or a new situation, or just not be happy with the exact way I did things. So that's why this beginning scenario, I'm very thoroughly familiar with it. If you just bought 150 people, you're going to get probably less than 20 educated. And you can see we lost 8 of them before we got this university built. And you could, you know, like if you only had 16 or 20 and you got down to 12, it's just not enough. So we probably could have got away in this case with a few less. I think if we still had 20, we might get by, but you would definitely be balancing out those 20 in that flat, trying to make sure they're going to just the right places. You might even have to cut off your hospital until you can get more of them through the school. Now again, I'm sitting here celebrating. We're not quite out of the woods yet, but yeah, look, we got 2 professors, all of the students. Say as long as we're doing that, we should be okay. You know, then the other issue, because will we have enough teachers at this point? Yes. And like I said, this is the other one. We really don't want too many doctors in there at any one point, but we'll see. We'll get them educated, and we'll keep an eye on them, and that'll be great. That's really the biggest last hurdle unless we do something silly and dumb to kill a bunch of people, right? Then we could accidentally cut off the coal to here, or the road connection or something. Or power, I guess, would probably be the biggest thing. If we lost power in my live stream, those of you who are watching that, you'll see that because I was taking out loans constantly, I let the loan run down, and then we ran out of power for long enough that we lost pretty much everybody and had to go buy new people. So that wasn't a good thing. But we survived it, and we're moving on. And hopefully that won't happen to us here. First of all, we're not in loan debt at this moment. And we're a little closer to the Soviet border. So I'm really hoping that we can get to a semi-balanced budget. I don't expect to be able to do all of our construction and pay for it. But if we could just get to the point where we're doing enough to pay for our people, that would be the next big start for us. So let's go ahead and speed this up a little bit. And I'm going to keep an eye on our constructions and just keep assigning things like I am. Is there anything else to go over? We can take a look real quick at the economy. It'll go all, but we're just not making any money. Last month was what date is this? November, yeah. So minus 6,300. So pretty sad. But let's just keep an eye on that, right? This month, we're even spending more, but probably because we're doing a little more different construction. The last month we might not have been doing that much. But we'll see. And other than that, I want to keep these road assignments going up to here, especially if I see dump trucks sitting around doing nothing. But then we need to get in here to this farm. It could be good. I think we could possibly get this built if I don't get too distracted. Yep, there we go. There's the snow. So our technical services, yep, there they go. Go get them, boys. Well, you're plowing. You're ready to go, man. The snow's hardly even on the ground, and they're out there plugging away. So we'll get this other flat built, and then I'll start getting into this over here. I'm not sure exactly when I'll come back. If we start having issues with the heating plant, you know, those three buses, you know, we got 3 plows focusing hopefully mostly on the gravel roads. So I think we should be able to keep things moving, you know, I'm hoping reasonably well here. But let me run some more time forward. I mean, you know, I know some people want to see all of the constructions, and I would like to show it, but it's just mind-numbingly, you know, again, is it boring? I guess it's all a matter of opinion. Boring is more of an emotion than anything else, right? But it's just certainly not that exciting for making YouTube videos. So there we go. So let me pause the recording, that is, and I will just keep playing forward time, and I'll get more and more stuff built. But once we get to the point where I'm going to buy a new vehicle for the farm or whatever, something even remotely exciting happens. Oh, I should mention another thing. We did get this road done. So we are officially reconnected to the Soviet border with a fully graveled road, right? And if we can get up here and get this all graveled, get that bridge built, we can get over here and start building that construction office. So that'll take a second fiddle to whatever I'm doing down here, I hope. All right, so once these all get built, then we'll worry about getting these buildings built as my priority, as I'm micromanaging my construction here. Well, there you go. All right, I'll see you guys in a few seconds. But we might be able to summarize how we did in the first year. Been a pretty smooth thing. I think that we got everywhere we needed to go. Our happiness dropped. I had to move some people around. We're starting to get some unemployed. So one of the reasons is I took those people off of working at the kindergarten, and it seems to have left us with some unemployed because they can't find a place to work because there's no kindergarten. So just very recently, I assigned this house to go to the bus platform and the kindergarten. So we'll see if that kind of ups the number of staff that we have here, but you can see where we're sort of struggling. So we'll see. There's only 40. Yeah, see, we don't have enough people. I'm thinking maybe I need to rebalance that. But if I balance it too much, that's taken away from my workers. right? I don't want to move people around too much between my houses. Now, these people are undecided. So I've got 68 people can go wherever they want. And again, I think the unemployed are coming from the kindergarten issue. So they're certainly not prioritizing the kindergarten. Now, did I do another thing? Oh, I didn't turn this down. We don't need anywhere near those numbers, do we? No, let's go with 7 and... Yeah, I don't know that was even causing an issue. Or do we go with 1 less? What is 1 less? Yeah, you know what? Let's just go with max 5. If we get a few students, that's all we really need, right? We don't need to be wasting any more staff than we have to until we can get this growing a little bit. I also see our health is dropping. Yeah, not 100% sure why. Our sports entertainment shouldn't be dropping, I wouldn't think. It's probably... well, it's... Yeah, they definitely had a peak in the sports... Oh, wait, was I on the right? Yeah, I wonder why the sports entertainment drops off so much there. Is that because of the winter time? They can't go... Ah, maybe that's it. They can't use this in the winter. Alright, so we're going to need to get an indoor sports. Let's work on that. Where am I doing? I'm looking at statistics. That's not at all what I want. Yeah, I think it's right here. Indoor pool. So indoor pool would be our one vanilla option. And that's probably fine. It's a bit big for what I would want. Maybe if we spin it around this way, I can put it... Again, I want to kind of put some more houses right here. Is that getting kind of far from... I think that'll be all right. It's a little far, but we got heat to it anyway, which is important for our indoor pool. All right, so I'll take a road out. Yeah, I think I should start sticking with the... Let's get rid of... Spin around. Let's see if we can't make it a little bit straight with that other road. There we go. Now we probably need to get a footpath. Can you get a footpath from here? Yes. Matter of fact, I'm gonna... For now, we're just going to do that, and we'll get rid of the rest of this. All right, how are we doing on our construction office? You know, things are going slow. I mean, again, it's we definitely just need more people to do all the things. So there we go. Like that quick, we got our unemployment back down. And like I said, I think it was just a matter of just taking that off and not forcing them to go into another one. Sort of caused that temporary thing. Now, eventually we'll take this off once I start seeing that we're getting more university educated. But for now, and I keep clicking on this pretty periodically, make sure everybody that's available to go to school is going to school. So we can get that. I also really like this where it breaks down the number, at least for getting started. The 16 to 21-year-olds are separate from the 7 to 15-year-olds, which kind of gives you a better picture of exactly. So we have 69 0 to 6, 61 that are 7 to 15, and only 11 that are 16 to 21. So that means, given that we're going to have some deaths, we're going to struggle to get more workers. You know, it's going to be a few more months, I think, before we really start seeing those numbers come in and the actual workers going up. So we just really, probably for like the duration of the winter, we're just talking about getting done what we can, moving forward as best we can, and then waiting for a better, sunnier day when the temperatures rise and the people can come back out of their houses and go back to sports and everything else they're doing. Let me see who's in here doing nothing. Not too many people if you look. I mean, we've got a few vehicles in there. The backhoe's in there. The the excavator, the backhoe, the bulldozer, and the concrete truck. Other than that, yeah, we definitely need to get these roads done kind of as a priority. And then I started to assign some of this up here, so we could probably do that. All right, so this is the food factory, which I'd want to get done next after the farm. But if we can get that farm done, I'm hoping that we can get it built by the springtime, of course, and then we'll come back. So there you go. That's how we're doing for the year. Let's just take a look at our stats. How did we do? I'm very happy. Things could be better. We'll do. We can't do last year. Let's just do all, right? So, yeah, well, we got our population up to 300, which is good. That's about as much as we can expect. Again, not too many more productive age workers, but that will come. As long as we have the hospital to keep our deaths down as best we can. And then we have, a nice children number coming up. Births is dropping off, but that's, again, because everybody had their babies. This is exactly the normal spike in people. Our culture nicely going up. Sports, until we hit the winter time, I guess that was good. And then we need to get that indoor pool going. Maybe in the future I'll build the indoor pool first, even though it is a bit more expensive than some of the other ones. Probably worth getting that done before the winter takes away our thing and starts hurting our health and all that stuff. But then the good news is we'll have the two things for the summer. That'll boost it up nice. We'll have this for the winter time. And I will sit here and just keep assigning these things. And again, our finances for last year were really the whole time we have spent 560, we'll call it, thousand rubles and $310,000. So that was a heck of a year of spending money. We can't do that again this year because we don't even have that much. So hopefully we can turn this ship around economically. There you go. So let me keep going with this. It doesn't make for the most exciting designing and building if you like to see that, but this is all part of the process, right? We got to get through this stage where we just simply don't have enough people to accomplish too much. And we'll just keep plugging away, getting these roads built mostly. And of course these buildings, getting ready for the spring. We'll get our farming situation going as best we can for the springtime. So I will see you either when something exciting happens or when it is spring and the snows go away. Looking forward to it. Things are moving along quite nicely. We have just gotten to the point where the snow went away. I was sitting there watching, doing things. I didn't even hardly notice when the snow went away. I was just like, oh my gosh, look, the ground's green. So focused on my construction was I, right? So I don't think it was long. Of course, it's still February. But we have gotten done our farm. So what I wanted to do, and we only have a small farm, so we're not going to be able to put too much in here. But what I'm thinking we should do is at least get some sewing equipment in there so we're ready. I'm thinking maybe 3 of each. Then we'll have 3 harvesters. Now we could go ahead and get the American ones, right? Because they're a little bit faster than the other. Plus we'll use some dollars that we might not otherwise buy. So there we go. So I really have never used this small farm to know how well it does, but we're going to find out. And that might not be the right ratio, but we'll see. We could always take one of those out. We'll use these vehicles in the future. The only real problem is whether we run out of money because we buy too many vehicles that we don't need that badly, right? But I think we'll be in good shape. So there we go. So these guys should be ready. The other thing I want to do, I don't even know if I have power here yet. Let's purchase fuel. And that way we have some fuel in there. Now, do we have, buildings without power supply. We need to get this done. What is the holdup? I'm not really sure why they are not working on that a little bit more. They just don't seem to be prioritizing sending people there at all. So I do want to get that grain storage done. Let's see, where are you heading to? Yeah, so you're taking pretty much people to the grain storage. We've been doing pretty well It's the first time I've seen 0 unemployed, but that's great. So it's just showing you we are using up the people as much as is reasonable. At 5 staff, so we got rid of that kindergarten issue since we last spoke. All right, we're in pretty good shape there. And I think we just need to get more people in here. How's this house doing? Yeah, 32. I was taking a look at that. So if we take a look at our higher education workers, we have 33. Then if I come over to here and look at this, we have 42. So let's do all. So we are back up effectively to where we started out at. So it's, but the problem we have now is that we don't have their kids still, but that's great. That means we are educating people, which we didn't really doubt. Every time I've looked at this, we have professors and we have students and whatnot. So that's good. So pretty shortly we should start seeing as these people turn into adults. And right now we only have 15 that are 16 to 21 years old. So yeah, we have 86 that are 17 to 15. So we're going to have a nice big group of people coming through. I guess what's that, by the summer maybe? It's like 3 years or so, a little bit less than that for people's full lives. So it shouldn't be too long and we'll start seeing the actual number of workers go up, which is good because hopefully by that time we'll have started harvesting some crops and be able to get the crops over to here. I did start work on, or did I assign this? Yeah, I did assign this. So I just started work on getting some of the stuff to the grain storage there. Where is my backhoe? He's in there. So you're not going to go up there and work on that at all? Wonder why he's not doing that, right? You would think he would head out there. And then I did start working on this. It's kind of getting a little bit late in the year for it, but is our tennis court back open, or football field back open? Yes. See, and this right here is the problem with that football field where you have visitors waiting and just no workers because the one worker goes off a shift and until you get the next one in. Oh, it is closed due to bad weather. That's funny that it wouldn't show that right away. Yeah, well, it's 0 out, so I guess that's not exactly football weather, is it? American football gets played in the ice cold, but that's a different thing. All right, so in any event, I don't want the indoor pool, but I do want to assign that just to get that done. It might be a little bit of a distraction, but I'd like to get our health up a little bit higher. Not going to hurt. Plus, it'll keep them happy. I did look, and if we go back to all again over here, we haven't had any escapes in quite a long time, so that's really what worries me the most, is a ton of escapes. And so we've kind of got an end to that. The deaths, yeah, we had a couple little spikes there. I think that's to be expected. We're going to have a die-off at some point to meet this. We're going to have this birth, this growth spurt that we're having now. It's the easiest way to show it's here. Right? Once those people get old, you're going to have a little bit of a die-off at some point too. And then sometime around your die-off, that's when it starts to even out. And then the numbers go up nice and evenly after that, as long as you don't have other external forces. Through the whole winter, we didn't lose. I'm noticing the notices. We get a new vehicle, microbus. But the small heating plant here did not run out of power once. So we got a good connection from here to here. We had plenty of people. Our caution with that is worth it. We got a good steady supply of people, especially with this. A little bit worried when we took the people off the small bus platform and sent them to the kindergarten. Like, told them to split that up. A lot of times I don't do that, but for some reason I'm just not getting enough people into this one house, right? So I did have to shuffle around, which if we take a look at my happiness stats, you'll see they dipped down there. I'm not sure how well you guys can see that. That was because I had to move some people around, and that's how I fixed my unemployment issue, right? Because I had a few extra ones in here. I took some of them out, and then I had to re-put the educated back into this building. So do we have any? Yeah, we do have a few educated here. I can probably take them out, put them in there. No educated in this one. All right, so that'll just make sure that much more that we have enough people. But I think we're in really good shape. I'm not willing to pretty much willing to declare that we've made it with 150 people. I don't think that was really that much of a challenge, but I think you'll find if you start trying to start with too many less than that, and by too many I mean like 20 or 30 less, you're really gonna, that's really probably pushing it. I don't know if you would make it with 120, like I think 150, and it's certainly circumstantial too, right? You build it a little bit different one way, a little bit different. You don't quite get this done as fast as you hope to. You don't assign quite the right construction projects, and then all of a sudden you lose some people because your heating plant didn't get done in time, or whatever the case was. But we're in good shape. I'm very happy with the way things are going. I mean, it's slow, but that's just the nature of the game. Not too much we can do about it. There we go. We're out there getting our first crop, so hopefully we can get our, it's not the crane built, but the grain storage. How are we doing there? Yeah, it's just going to be a matter of people. People. We need more. There we go. We got our gravel being spread on our road connection, so hopefully we'll get this done. This will be not only help us with our internal, but we can start exporting some food, I hope, and then some alcohol. You know what I don't have here? I hope this isn't a problem. It could be. I just noticed we don't have a factory connection, do we? Too steep. Yeah, I was afraid you were going to tell me that. Let's see, can we somehow... No. Alright, well, we already built this road. That's a shame. I'm going to have to demolish that road. Oops. Did that wrong. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get that in now that at least I didn't build this road yet, right? So let's see if I can't. The first thing I need to do is just make that less steep, and that was a grain silo. We'll just go with the standard one again, but what am I looking for over here? Now maybe we can, right? Yeah, see, there we go. Oh, it did it again. Yeah, that's really annoying. I wish they would make it so that it doesn't do that. I'm pretty sure that's not going to go. Yeah, no. Right, so now we got to delete the whole thing again. Let's see, can we smooth it out again a little bit? Right. And then see if we can move that over a little bit further. It just keeps doing it. Now can I, well, maybe I can level it this time, right? Or maybe it'll just let me connect. Put on the level or this tool. Yeah, it's just, I guess one of the other things maybe I could do, the road might be a little bit more forgiving. Let's do the down tool just to see if we can't. I need an excavator. Yeah, there he is right there too. All right, well, we could do like, and I'm not sure if you noticed what I did there, but I think I lowered that whole thing a little bit. Let's go to here. There you go. That's fine. Nobody will ever notice. Right? You couldn't hardly tell we did a thing. Just down a little tiny bit, and that made it doable. Okay, good. Well, at least we've noticed that before we started building the whole thing. Oh, wait, you know what? That wasn't... We didn't... We wanted an alcohol plant there, distillery. Right. What did I have there before? I think I had a distillery there before, right? Yeah, that's good. Now we reattach just like I wanted to. Let's go back and get this guy. Thing arguing with me the whole time, right? I'm going to hold off on any more construction assignments, right? I really want to get the people out here to this grain silage. We need to get some fuel. I guess it's not that big a deal if they go up. The gas station's reasonably close for starters anyway. Why don't we have 3? Oh, because I never attached these. Jeez. That's right. First year's for working out bugs, right? There we go. Yeah, so let's see how we do. I would think that maybe 6 fields would be better, right? Because I imagine we could get 2 fields plowed per vehicle, and then we'd have 6 total. So let's go ahead and do that, just for, even if we don't get it going this year. I think that would be a pretty reasonable thing to do. Always do the big fields. How does that look as far as, I think it's pretty. Trying to get it just to look nice. I'm assuming the 2, no, look, they're not really, are they? Let's go. Might commit to that, and then now we'll have 2 more that we can add on at some point. Again, not too worried about it. There we go. There's our other tractor getting out there. Yeah, so they're really just not, I guess it's just a priority thing. I think it seems like there's certainly internal priorities sometimes to these, especially these wires and whatnot. They seem to take a different path through life than the rest. I see we have 2 dumpers. Yep. So we could really keep assigning a road or 2. Now, do we have any roads in here? I'm not too worried about that, though we could definitely get that done. Do we want to get over there first, or does it really matter? Yeah, let's get this one. That'll keep them busy for a while, hauling gravel. At least keep the dump trucks busy. And then we'll get over here and do that, because I don't think we have too much more. No, that's got all the gravel in it. All right, so this is all. The rest of this is all just like people and cranes and that kind of thing. So we have until the end of the summer to get all that done. So we're not in a huge rush here with that. All right, same thing with over here. If we get those 2 silos done, that'll at least give us a fair amount of storage. And it's probably not enough in the long run, but it's all right. We only have the small farm here for now anyway. So that'll be fine. Well, I think I'm going to call this a bit of an episode. I know it's a bit short. I know we didn't accomplish a huge amount. But then again, yeah, we did, right? We're getting there. I think the big thing that I was watching during this whole thing was our actual population. Oops, let's do all because it's easier to see. Actual population is climbing nicely. You know, we're up over 300. Still only have 152 workers, which is just 2 more than we started with. But now look at that, 111 kids. So I think what I'll do is I'll run time forward till we start getting more and more of these kids in place. Of course, if we start having any other issues, I will come back. But we'll get our indoor pool built, right? We got our road over there. At some point, I'd like to get all these roads graveled. And that's one of the reasons I do this little setup. I like the roads, like I was saying, attached to the buildings, but it also gives me alternatives if I go to, connect things and whatnot. I like the way this layout looks. I think, again, buildings should have roads to them. And beyond that, we can take a look and see. Now this got done. Maybe we can do this before we quit, right? Let's just see. Yeah, so that's still attached. Can we come like this maybe? And then Yeah, look at that. Hey. We'll go over there. Right here's probably fine, I guess. You don't like that, but... Alright, so now if they come down this road, they can get over to there. Right, let's get that assigned. Not that we really need it that bad, but it was bothering me that we couldn't... There we go, where's my construction office? Kind of looks a little goofy, but it did do the trick, right? That's one thing about this game. There's very often a way to work around if there's an awkwardness in the way things get placed or the way the roads work, you can work around it quite often. So good. What did that do for us? Well, I think it helps with the people if we put another set of houses over here, which we will do. Put another set of houses here. It's not going to hurt people getting past places. All right, well, there we go. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Again, I know it's not the most exciting designing and whatnot, but we got our population is getting pretty steady. We're on the cusp of a good population growth in our workers. You know, the population itself is going up nicely like we would expect. And then once we get the more workers, that'll mean we can get a few more babies and the whole thing grows. If not exponentially, it certainly grows at a quicker and quicker pace. You know, just multiply 100 times 10% versus 400 times 10%, right? So however many babies we have per year, per person, per worker, we'll be getting up there. Well, there you go. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful day. This should be, it depends on when you watch it, of course, but if you're watching it on the first day or two, it's probably right around Christmas. So Merry Christmas if you celebrate that kind of thing. And if not, well, I hope you still have a wonderful day. It's a nice day. Probably have the day off either way, right? So I hope you guys enjoy yourselves. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. And bye-bye.